Hey guys, Angry Cole here. Today I'm doing an update about my PCs. So this is what I'm going to talk about. So now, remember I said how my Dell Inspiron 3647 had a NVIDIA GeForce GT 635 in there, but now it doesn't, because there are a few things I want to tell you guys. I am now officially back on the onboard graphics for good, because there are a few things I want to talk about. All of the computers other than the Dell Optiplex 3010 that came with a video card, that's an exception. But all the other computers are now running back on the onboard graphics, even the Dell Inspiron 570 back to the onboard graphics officially for good. So now I want to talk about why I did that. It's because one, Angry Birds Space was stuttering like crazy on the GT530 and the GT635. There were even times it was dropping below 30 frames per second, which isn't ideal, even on 2009 for 2015 hardware. Like, I would expect it to drop that low on like 2005 hardware, but we're talking about 2009 for 2015, not below 2009. And there's also a few more things I want to consider. All of the other computers are now, like, there's something I need to talk about this. So, the computers that came with Seagate 500 gigabyte hard drives are now going to be replaced with Western Digital 500 gigabyte hard drives from 2012 through 2015 with the model WD5000 AAKX. The ones that have hard drives that are newer than 2015 are going to be replaced with drives from 2012 to 2015. Hard drive with Dell computers that will have Western Digital hard drives will have a Dell part number on them. Ones with the HP computers will have the generic Western Digital hard drives, but the ones with Dell will have the OEM hard drives. And so now I'd recently replaced my Western Digital hard drive, the WD10EZEX, from a January 14th, 2014 generic hard drive to a July 3rd, 2014 Dell part number hard drive. Like the Inspiron 570 did have a Dell part number hard drive, which was a WD751 EEX, I think. EES. I don't remember the model exactly, but the hard drive is from 2010. It got replaced because that hard drive was in caution status. And you know what happened to that hard drive? It's gone. Threw it away yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I threw it away because I'm like, one, it's because it's black. Well, I wouldn't say it's because it's black and 750 gigs, but because it was from 2010 and because it was in caution status. Like, I'll accept hard drives older than 2012 when the Caviar series and the ones that replace the Caviar series and ones that are from 2016 and beyond. We're talking about hard drive spacing from the WD non-Caviar era through 2015. Yeah. With capacities 500 gigabyte for 1 terabyte hard drive, and the ones that I'm going to say that the Inspiron 570 does have the exact same hard drive that's in my computer, except it's from October 29th of 2013, not July 3rd, 2014, but is a Dell part number hard drive. There is another storage drive in there too, which is just a backups drive, because I do backups on that computer, like, because there's important information on that computer. There's even lots of photos from like as old as like 2000 in there. Very crazy. Yeah, tons of crap is on there. Well, I wouldn't say tons of crap, but tons of a lot of stuff is on there. But now I'm going to continue about why I'm back on the onboard graphics. Is because the onboard graphics are more stable. The video card that I did use on that computer stuttered a lot. It stuttered a lot. And there's something else that I want to tell you now. So, remember my big monitor, the Dell ST2420L? Now it's in here now for the Switch is because I told you now that we have two Dell E17 3FPFs now is because I prefer that monitor better than my bigger one. And also because we only need VGA input. And there's something else I want to tell you guys too. Alright. Our house has Cat 5e in it. So I'm saying, I used to use a Cat 6 cable last year up until about February of 2026. Is because one, Cat 6 is kind of overkill for gigabit speed. And Cat 5e is like the best cable in the world. I'm not saying that Cat 5e is bad. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that anything above Cat 5e isn't necessary. If you have like higher gigabit speeds, Cat 6 would be fine. But now I just want to go over the Ethernet cables for Broadcom. Not Broadcom, broadband internet for broadband. So don't get cables anything below Cat 5e, because anything from Cat 1 through Cat 5 is considered bad. Well, Cat 5 is kind of okay-ish for some 100 megas per second Ethernet. Like, people may still have Cat 3 or Cat 4 in their homes for 10 megabits per second connections. People may still have Cat 5 for 100 megabits per second, but even if you have those low speeds, people would use Cat 5e though, or probably even Cat 6, or even Cat 6a. Like, you can even run Cat 8 on fast Ethernet connections, but that would be overkill, even on gigabit connections. But what I'm saying is that we do have two Cat 6 cables that are 75-foot outdoor cables. Those go from the router to the switch, then to the splitter, and to the switch. And then all our computers use Cat 5e. Our modem cables, Cat 5e, our computer Ethernet cables, all of them are all Cat 5e because we don't use the Cat 6 cables. Those go to the splitter and the switch. Yeah, all our cables are Cat 5e. So our house is Cat 5e, but now I just want to go over the other cables. Cat 6, Cat 6a, Cat 7, Cat 7a, and Cat 8. Those are all overkill. Cat 6 may be considered for some homes, but at this home, we're relying on Cat 5e, not Cat 6. No. We only rely on Cat 5. Maybe on some Cat 5 for slower connections, for slower computers, and Cat 5e for our main standard computers, for all the computers that we use on an everyday basis. That we use on a daily basis. And now I want to talk about SSDs. So, SSDs are kind of overkill for most of our computers, but we do have one computer that has an SSD. We have other computers that have SSDs, but because those are what I'm selling, and another computer has SSDs. But most of our computers rely on HDD drives, because here's the thing. Computers from 2009 through 2015 don't need to have SSD drives unless you're running Windows 10 or Windows 11. But if you're running like Windows 10 RTM, not Windows 10 22H2, if you're running Windows 7, an HDD be fine. But most people prefer SSDs. But I prefer hard disk drives better. And the reason why I have a 1 terabyte drive instead of 500 gigabyte hard drive is because here's the thing. Bigger capacity will give you more space for all your stuff. And there's also other things I want to talk about too. But yeah, I am going to get a backup drive because now that I have an HDD docking station, USB to SATA to USB or whatever, to USB 3.0 to SATA for 3.5-inch hard drives. Now I want to talk about other things about Angry Birds for PC. I know Rovio killed off the Angry Birds servers between 2017 and 2019, but guess what? I actually have that on my computer. Pretty cool. I use XAMPP AHatch. It's a it's a server that you can download the Angry Birds games, you can activate, you can update them from the updater.exe. Pretty cool, huh? Because you can't activate the games anymore without doing some modifications, but this isn't a modification. This is what I mean. Now that I'm on Windows 7 again, you can't activate the games no more. No, you can't. You need to have Windows 10 up. Windows 10, Windows 11. But I have a local server that activates the games, downloads the games from like download.angrybirds.com, all of that, and then and the update server. So yeah, that's pretty cool how I did that with the help of ChatGPT and Google Gemini. Like, Google Gemini and ChatGPT really saved the day for that, is because I really want to have a local server for Angry Birds so that you just don't download them manually. You can just download it for the updater.exe. And the good thing about it is that the AHAF server is running because I installed the service. And now I want to talk about another thing too, about Cars 2, the video game for PC. I know you're all thinking, I'm just saying, I have Cars 2 for PC. And yes, I'm running it on the HD 4600. You're probably thinking I need a HD 5450 or an HD 6450 for that. But I'm like, no, you don't. For better performance, it may be recommended. But I'm saying, I know it says onboard integrated chipsets aren't supported, but that is for hardware from 2004 to through 2005. We're not talking about 2000. That doesn't apply to 2014 hardware. It applies to like hardware with AMD Athlon 64 and the Intel Pentium 4. It doesn't apply to the Core i3, i5, and i7 era. It doesn't apply to that. I don't know if it applies to the AMD Athlon 4X4 635 or 630. I don't think it doesn't apply, but what I'm saying is that Cars to the video game can run on onboard graphics, but if you have something like a Pentium 4, you probably need to have like a GeForce, an NVIDIA GeForce, maybe an old card from like 2007, 2008. But what we're talking about is that Cars to the video game can run on onboard graphics just fine. Like, it does freeze and lag at sometimes, but not all the time. But in certain stuff, yeah. But I think if you're thinking that you're considered with the lag, like, I don't really care how laggy it is because I'm just a child. I don't care about performance. It's running on 1280 by 1024 at medium settings, which I don't know what frames per second, but I don't really care. It's running just fine. It's not lagging at all. It's perfectly running just fine. So that's what I'm saying. If you're having like trouble with, if you want like get better performance, please don't get a high-end card for that. If you have an old PC, like say you have an i5 first through 4th gen and you want to get something, get a card like get something AMD related. NVIDIA cards stutter. Get something like an HD 7450 or 7570. Get something like that. Don't get like a GT 630. It won't work. I mean, it will work, but you'll just stutter. Especially when you play Angry Birds on PC. Even Angry Birds Space, the game will stutter. But that game ran fine on the HD 7750. But get something like a 7470 or a 7570 or probably even a 5450 or a 6450. Go with something like that. Don't get something, but if you're on like Windows 10 or Windows 11, you can get like a GT 1030. But we're talking about Windows 7 era here. Get a card like you can even get like I don't know, I would say maybe the best card that you could get for Cars 2 and Angry Birds Space is either the 5450 or the 6450. And have at least 4 gigabytes of RAM or 8 gigabytes of RAM and at least a 500 through 1 terabyte hard drive and at least 64-bit Windows. So yeah, that's all I want to say, and I also want to talk about the videos. So I'm no longer, this is like my last official video, but I just want to have an update about my computer stuff and all that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Bye.